Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Real Talks with Ash. I am your hostess with the mostest, Ashley, and I have a very special guest with me today, and she's also my friend. Her name is Dorothe. Say hi to the camera, girl.
How y'all doing?
How are you doing today?
I'm swell.
Yeah.
I'm lovely.
Yeah.
I have a little headache, but you know.
Yeah, I have a little headache too. I'm tired today.
Why?
I'm tired today. Full disclosure, I'm a bit hungover.
Wow.
Yeah, it was my brother's birthday last night, so we kind of got a little crazy. But we're here today.
We're here today.
And I'm very happy that you're here. So, I'm just going to dive right in. So, tell me about yourself a little bit. Like, where are you from?
Well, I grew up in the city of Ottawa. I'm born in Greece, in Athens. I know, and I tell people that, they're like, "What's a lie?" Well, my background is Congo, RDC.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm born in Greece, so technically
That's
I'm a Greek
actually
citizen.
so cool.
I am.
That's mad cool.
Yeah, so I kind of moved everywhere back and forth, lived in Toronto for some time, well, Oakville, and then to Ottawa. And here I am now, probably a decade and something later, and I'm still here.
How long did you live in Greece?
Since I was born, probably until the age of, I would say maybe 4.
Okay.
If I can remember.
You were a baby
properly.
when you left.
I was a baby.
You're
So
a baby.
I have like no recollection. It doesn't count. I can't tell people, I was in Santorini.
there.
Like, I can't say that. It's
Santorini,
fake.
Greece. That's so funny. Okay, that's mad cool. Okay. So, do you have any siblings?
I do. I have an older brother, Christian. I have a younger brother, Eugene, and 2 younger sisters. And then there's me.
You're not the oldest?
I'm the oldest female.
You're the oldest girl, okay.
Yeah.
You're the oldest girl. That's a big family.
Girl,
It's a big family.
Congolese do it. They reproduce.
Yeah, legit. Yesterday when I was out with my siblings, I was like, damn, there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just the Congolese
That's a lot
side.
of people. It's
And
crazy.
Yeah, so you're full Congolese. That's really, really cool.
100%.
So, you paint,
I
madam. Obviously,
Picasso.
you do something. You're talented.
Small.
A lot of many talented people sit on this couch.
Oh, yes.
You're one of the many talented people. So, how long have you been painting? Like, because you're amazing, first of all. I'm about to buy some of your prints to put in my apartment.
Girl.
Yeah, legit.
So I've been painting since probably the age of 11. It was like a gift that my parents saw at first, I don't know if you watched the show Art Attack when you were younger on TVO Kids. Yeah, that's actually what inspired me to get into art. So I would watch that. I think it would be on either on the weekends or after school on the weekdays. And you know how like he would create stuff with he would create images
Legit.
with like objects.
It was so cool.
The camera would back up, and then it would be like a lion made out of clothing. And then, so I would just constantly do that with whatever I had in my basement, and I would watch it on TV and kind of repeat what I saw. And then I started doing sketches, for probably like a couple years. But, when you're a kid, the more you grow, the more other stuff you
want to try things.
You want to try things. So I played basketball. I played, all this stuff. I wanted to do so many things. So
Literally.
art was kind of like an on and off thing. It wasn't always consistent. But then I think around 2018, maybe 2017, I would say 2018, I took it more serious. And I'm just my parents saw this gift first. So I should probably see it and kind of see where it takes me, kind of be consistent with it.
Definitely.
And yeah, I started off doing, free paintings. At first, no one knew me, and Ottawa, everyone knows everybody.
Yeah,
It's a family.
Legit, it's a giant community.
Yeah.
Like just one big.
Everyone knows everyone, but back then nobody knew me. I was very unknown, as if I didn't have an identity. So I just mustered up a little bit of courage to have Instagram, post my artwork, but it was I wasn't selling anything because I only knew how to do art.
Yeah.
I didn't know the business side of art. I didn't know the marketing side of art. I didn't know the extra stuff. I didn't know how to sell artwork.
There's always another side of things. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Even me diving into this right now, bro, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Girl,
I don't really know what I'm doing, and it's literally, and it's like you said, I didn't know the business side of media or the marketing side of it, even the financial, like the money that goes into it. So I hear you there.
Right.
So that's something I'm learning now.
I was nervous, but honestly, God walked with me.
Amen.
I had to keep God in my life, even though I wasn't always walking with Him. When I, gave my life to Christ a couple of years ago, that's when I'm just like, yo, I have this gift that God gave me, so I have to use it somehow. So, as I said, I started doing free, I started putting my art out there, having people see it, and then I started doing free artwork, I offered to do artwork for people, because I didn't know, like, the business, marketing, money, whatever. I didn't know that stuff. Then eventually people started seeing my art, so they were like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? It all started with me putting myself out there.
That's all it is.
And stepping out of because I used to be so shy. You don't know that. I didn't like
you shy. I don't believe it.
So the way you know me now was not how I was earlier, like teens. Like I was so shy. A lot of people would probably disagree. Listen, those that know me. Like back then, I wasn't talking. I was shy. I was getting bullied all through high school, a little bit through college. Like so I wasn't as out there and outgoing.
But it makes it hard for you to put yourself out there too. Right. If like you feel like like I feel like when people are afraid to put themselves out there, they don't feel like worthy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was me for a very long time, like really long. Like I started and stopped with this show for so long. Like I actually produced a show 3 years ago. 2 episodes in, I quit. I quit. I quit. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I don't want to do it. Je suis découragée. Like like so that resonates heavy.
Listen, bro. Like it's everything takes time to grow. It just starts with you moving your own feet, because no one can do it for you. Yeah, that's the state. Like
I'm proud of you for starting.
Thank you. It took years, and I'm still not even close to where I want to be yet. But I just know that God walks with me. I know that He has put people, vessels in my life to help me get to my destination.
Amen. Absolutely.
Because I know I can't do it by myself.
Absolutely, we can't. We actually can't. That's the thing that people don't get. Like we actually can't. Like. We can't. I wouldn't be able to be here with you today if Tani didn't have access to the studio, right? If he didn't say, let me help you film this, we would not be sitting here right now. So literally, God's been showing out, man. Can we talk about it for a second? I really want to talk about it. And it's a Sunday. Let me preach to you. I really do want to talk about it because wow, like I think it was me last year, and I'm happy I can talk about this with you too. It feels good. I asked God to bring more like God-fearing people into my life as well, so I could keep learning and keep growing with Him and stuff. Like like God's been showing out. Like if you really just have faith. That's why earlier today I told you I'm walking by faith today. I was like, by faith today. Like God's really showing out, and I'm just really. How do you keep God centered? For you?
Listen, this is still something that I'm learning every single day. Yeah. Because as a Christian, the Christian walk is not easy. Not People think, you become Christian and all your worries and troubles disappear. No, that's not how it is. In fact, life gets even harder.
Thank you.
Life gets even
because now you must really confront.
Right. And I will never be perfect. I will never stand in front of someone and be like, oh, I'm a saint and all that stuff. It really like... There's seasons where I'm not consistent with prayer or with God. There's seasons where I am, and like on and on. It's like it's really a journey. Yeah. Do you find so? I find that keeping people, vessels that are, I would say, more stronger in that department, who can help me, grow my walk with God.
Absolutely.
Keeping those types of people in my life, going to church, staying in contact with my pastors, praying, even kind of, what's the word, like programming in my mind, like, wake up, maybe read a chapter or something for like an hour even, and that kind of, because we're so conditioned to wake up and be on our phones first thing, so it's a journey.
It's really up and down. I feel you. I have seasons where like I don't pray as much either, and I really every time, but I try really hard. I just call out, like I try really hard. Whenever I feel like I'm drifting, I'm like, God, no matter how far I drift, no matter how, like, much I sometimes get distracted, just please, like, like, my God, I'm not perfect. I'm progressing. Listen, I'm not perfect. We're progressing.
None of us are perfect.
Like, I think for me, it's like giving myself grace, and like you said too, keeping the people around you. That's what keeps God centered for me too. So like, I wanted to hear your perspective.
And not being so hard on yourself when you do mess up.
Yeah,
because that's the worst thing. That's what the enemy wants.
Legit wants you to beat yourself up. Wants you to feel like crap. Like feel like you're
God
unworthy.
Isn't there.
Like,
you know, that's what he does. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yeah.
That is what he does.
Yeah.
But
so how do you like in terms of like your business now? Because this is a big thing for me. So I want to hear your perspective. Your imposter syndrome. Like, so, do you know what I mean? Like how, girl? Because it's not easy putting yourself out there, man. It is so not easy. So how do you keep the enemy out? Like, you know, and that voice in your head. Like, how do you deal with that, man? Because I just always remind myself, like, no, I could do this. Like, I literally have to remind myself. Because
honestly, it's something I'm still figuring out even today. You know, I don't want to be like, I figured it out and like I'm still, you know. It's really, for me to get to where I am today, I had to kind of humble myself and know that I don't know everything. I can learn from people who are already at the place where I'm trying to get to. Ask questions. It's not bad to ask questions.
It's not.
A lot of people I find, well, I'll speak for myself and some people that I've seen, they're too, like, their ego is just like, I can figure it out by myself. It's fine. You'll be doing that for another 10 years.
Yeah, go ahead.
But for me personally, to get to, because I kind of set like a time frame a little bit on when I want to get here, and I knew that this is the person I should reach out to. This is the person I should reach out to. So I didn't get to where I am today from my own doing.
Yeah.
Yes, God was there, but He also, you know, availed these people to help me. They know who they are. If they're watching this, God bless you. Thank you. Because, like, knowledge is power.
Yeah, facts.
I didn't have enough knowledge, I would say, at the time. Even now, I'm still gaining more knowledge.
People underestimate the power of knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
They underestimate, like, the power of knowledge and, like you said, like, meeting people and, like, using the people that are in your life kind of thing, because they're probably meant to be there for a reason, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, like, people, people, like, take that for granted, I find.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And I think that, you know, those people have, in a sense, helped me kind of re-believe in myself, rebrand myself, because there were times I'm just like, I thought I could do this, but I
can't do it
alone.
I
might just go to sleep and not come back to this. There were times where I wanted to quit.
So, like, what's your dream? Like, essentially, what's...
Ooh, should I reveal that on camera?
You don't have to tell us to me.
Well, I would say that a goal that I have, a big goal that I have, is to eventually have a creative studio where it's not just me, but, you know, other creatives can come. The creatives that don't really have a lot of leeway, the ones that aren't really known, who need a place to be creative, need a place to do podcasts, do all that type of stuff. Like, I want to be awesome. That person who doesn't just do stuff for herself, but gives opportunities for people.
You want to help people.
Right.
God will bless you then. You'll be all right.
Let's praise that.
No, you got this, man. It's just the fact that you don't want to, it's not just for you.
Yeah.
You know?
And it also helps to have people like you know. Yeah. My love language is words of affirmation. When I hear words of affirmation, it's like, I don't always feel so confident and so like, yeah, I can do this. Like, it's
same. Sometimes there's such thing as toxic positivity, you know. There's such thing as toxic positivity. All you people on Instagram giving us your advice every day, stop. Stop it. Shoving it down our throats.
Shove it.
I'll do it when I wanna. Like, do you know what I mean? I hate it. Like, I actually don't like it.
Listen,
like, I don't follow motivational speakers anymore.
It's Sunday, so I'm gonna watch my talks. You know, I feel you.
This is Real Talks with Ashley. I'm gonna say how I feel. I'm gonna say it.
You're right.
No, but yeah, there's such thing, you know, and it's like too much. I find it can become
overwhelming. I don't do well when I'm under pressure, overwhelmed. Like, I don't even know how to describe when I'm overwhelmed with all this stuff. It's like, it feels like there's a huge boulder on me and I can't move. I just start to panic and I start
Kind
to
of feel
like,
paralyzed
it's
a
a
bit.
real
like,
thing. It's a real thing. People think you have everything all put together.
Girl, I'm a hot mess. I'm still a hot mess.
A hot one indeed.
Thanks.
But, you know.
Thanks. No, but tell me about your business. Tell me about Drip and Paint.
Ooh, okay. Drip and Paint started in 2018. It was something that I prayed about to God because at that time, you know, I had been selling artwork a little bit here and there, but I wanted to do something more. I wanted to be known as something more than just the painter. You know, because there's a lot of the painters, but I wanted to be something more, especially in the city of Ottawa where there's not much fun
You're
stuff
like an
to
experience.
do. Exactly. So I was just praying to God one day, and I'm just like, God, like, first of all, help me come up with like an idea. So then teaching classes came up, and you know, me being the instructor, what would be included, etc., came up, and I was praying more, and I'm just like, yo, I need a name, like a catchy name, not like, you know, the typical sip and paint and sip.
Everyone does that. Yeah. Literally though.
Everyone is named that. So I'm just like, I need something different. So right in that moment, and I had my notebook out, I'm just like, oh, that's a good idea. So I'm like, Drip and Paint. And it was catchy. I had to have like a apostrophe on the end, so it's not like and, but it's like and, you know, with the
Drip and Paint.
And hey, you feel me? So that was the name, that was the story, and eventually it grew. I had my first event in 2018. The most nerve-wracking thing, because that's when I was learning how to now incorporate business into it. How to now take care of the people who are coming to my event. Like, I was responsible for them. I learned in that just one event. I thought no one would come. Thankfully, I had...
It was like sold out.
Yeah, it was sold out. Thankfully, I had the right people around me at the time who helped me with the event. Yeah. And y'all know who you are. I couldn't have done it without them. I was so nervous. I think I had to use the bathroom once or twice.
Nerves.
I had to let it all out.
Everything.
But so thank God for them. Like, wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And that event sold out, and I was just like, wow, like I can actually do this like on, you know, a repetitive basis. But after that event, it was like, okay, huge bang, you know, that I can do. Imposter syndrome shut me down. Literally. And I'm like, yo, this is.
And it's crazy when it hits you when you're getting validation. When people are validating you and you're like, am I fake? This isn't really me. I didn't know I could do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's so wild.
I was still like, even after that event, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do more. I'm going to do. And then eventually, like, I didn't have another event until like 2021 or 2020. That was like a long like span, and I'm just like, bro, what am I actually doing? I was still learning the business side of it. I was still learning I made my own website. I didn't know how to make websites before, but I learned. I had to learn how to make
You did that.
Well, I had to learn that. I had to learn marketing. I had to learn about e-commerce. I had to learn about how to sell, what to price my artwork at, what to price my events at, you know, if I should include food, if I should include wine, because paint and sip, if I should include the equipment or let people buy it themselves. Like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I was doing it at the time myself,
you're
brainstorming.
alone.
I didn't have a team, like, you know, for that event specifically, I had a team who helped me. But after that, it's like, I have to figure out all this stuff now.
Legit though.
And I have to price it at what I see the value. Like, I had to you know, I knew what it was valued, but I had to be careful not to be like $100, you know, like
throwing out like crazy numbers just because. That's difficult too, knowing your worth and how to put a price on it. I mean, as a journalist, like when people ask me to write them press, sometimes people have started to ask me to write them press releases and stuff like that, and I'm like, I can't be writing all these press releases. Are not easy to write, and actually not easy to write. Like, you need specific information, and I'm like, how much should I charge if I'm really writing? Like, you know, it's hard, but I don't want to charge someone like $400. Like, But I also don't want to charge them $50, like, or even $100 is small stuff. So I'm just
I started doing it free, and then I eventually, like, for the artwork aspect of it, because it's part of Drip and Paint, then I started charging like $50 or $100. Eventually, I went up. Like the beginning of this year, I'm just like, I'm no longer cheapening myself.
Yeah.
I'm no longer, devaluing. Like, I know the value of what I do. Whether it's the paint and sip events, the custom artwork that I do, murals, whatever. I know the value. So if someone
and your stuff is
the
good.
right people, thank you.
Your stuff
the
is
right
good.
people will pay the price that
They'll
it's at.
pay, exactly.
They will not try to discount it, ask for a discount for their grandmama.
Exactly.
And
You won't pay, someone else will. I promise you someone else will.
It's difficult,
Yeah.
It's even more difficult just, being an artist or just having a black business in the city of Ottawa. This is Real Talks. We can talk about it? Okay.
Yes, we can.
No shade, like this is where I grew up. But at the same time, as a black entrepreneur, it's very hard to, first of all, put yourself out there and then get the support. If you have those types of friends that are consistently like, I'm going to buy your work. I'm going to pay $1,000 for it because that's the price you set it at. I'm going to da-da-da-da. I'm going to tell you
that
I have an event for you to host this at. Listen,
Use the people
if you have those friends, keep them in your life.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's difficult.
It's hard, man.
I do have a lot of friends that are very supportive of me, and like, again, you know who you are. Thank God for you. But just the city as a whole, it's like when you're trying to. It's funny because back then I was that person that's like, ain't nothing to do in Ottawa. The city is dry as hell. I ain't nothing to do. Like just sleep, go downtown, take photos at Apple Store, send it to my email,
go to warehouse,
back home, go to warehouse. Walk downtown to see the Ottawa sign that Toronto did first. Like, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. So, when you now come out as a black entrepreneur, you're trying to bring something new and fun to fill the void of those complaints. It's like crickets.
Crickets.
And it's not everybody. It's just a lot of people. Like, this is just for the people who actually reach out to you and they're like, I'm gonna buy this when you get that.
I'm gonna come to your show or something.
I'm gonna come to your show, and then they don't.
And even if they don't come, at least message me or something.
Just
I don't know. I don't know.
Let me know.
I feel you. C'est la moindre des choses.
People don't like to have this conversation because it's like, but that's the reality. I spoke to a lot of other, black businesses. Not even just black businesses, people in business. No matter what skin color you are. They have experienced the same thing, so I know I'm not crazy.
No, you're not. I've literally experienced the exact same thing. I just find there's like, how can I say this in French? Les complexes. Tu vois? Like when someone's doing something, like, or the people who have been doing business, black people in Ottawa have been doing it for a long time. They're not really helping us per se. I find that's how I feel sometimes. A lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't.
It's true.
A lot of them aren't. Like they're not really helping our generation because we're the next. Exactly. Like it's literally us. Like we're the next.
Now trying. There's businesses now coming out trying to change the city.
Yeah.
Trying to give us more activities, fun stuff to do.
Yeah.
And then when there's people that are like, I'm gonna do. It's just like them going out of the way to say something. Exactly. If you didn't say anything, I wouldn't expect you.
I wouldn't expect you to say anything.
Right. That's fine. I understand. Pandemic, all that stuff. It's not about them. It's about the people who actually say something. They're saying they're gonna do something to me. I take that and I'm just like, wow, like that feels great, and then it doesn't happen. So then I kind of like, it's difficult, and like, it's sad that it sometimes gets to the point where people who own businesses here want to move elsewhere that has more, like Toronto and Montreal who love artists.
You know what I mean?
If I went there, it's like they would pay the price.
Like the love I get in Toronto is not the love I get here.
That you see what I'm saying though, so I know what I'm talking about.
I know, and you do know what you're talking about, sis. We're gonna get through this.
Listen, like that I can't let that stop me though. This is the gift that God gave me. I have to try and use it in new ways. I have to try and keep developing it until I can get to a point where, I don't really feel bothered by people saying stuff and then not going along with what they said.
It's the biggest thing. Like, you have to not take, if you're in business, you can't take things personally. Ever. It sounds crazy, but even if like one of my closest friends kind of like crossed me or something, I've just gone to that point now. I wouldn't not that I wouldn't feel away, but I'll be like, okay, well, people are people.
Yeah.
People are people.
We just learn.
I don't take anything personally anymore. I just do my business and
Right.
hope I can impact the right people.
Right.
That's how, I guess, if I have advice for anyone, for any other creative, even for you, for me, just don't focus on the impact
Right.
you're trying to make.
Right.
Because then it's easier to like maneuver.
Right.
And then you have less imposter syndrome. Because that's what helps me.
Yeah.
I just remember what I'm trying to do with all of this.
Yeah. Like when you remember why you started this, because I didn't start this for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't start this to be more known, whatever. Like, yes, and I ended up being more known, and now more people ask me to do custom artwork. More people book me. More people, you know. But I didn't do it for myself. I did it for other people.
Yeah.
When God has given you a gift, you have to understand it is not like your life is not for you. It's for other people. It's to impact other people. It's to help other people. It's to give to other people. You feel me? So I remind myself of that every day. Sometimes when I want to quit, there were times where I wanted to quit Drip and Pain because I'm like, yo, no one's supporting.
No one's pulling up.
No one's pulling up.
Man.
I can't do this. But it's like, you have to remember why you started.
Amen. DK, thank you for coming onto the show. Thank you for being literally, like, I think you're my second guest.
Oh.
We're going to look back on this. I'm going to have you on the show again because I want to touch base with you again in a year from now.
Amen. It will happen.
And we're going to revisit this conversation. And I'm going to ask you about everything again. And we're going to talk again. And we're going to laugh again. And I'm excited. And thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
On the show.
Thank you. Make sure you guys follow Dorothe on Instagram, on all her socials. Follow Drip and Paint. That's her business. She has sip and paint nights, I think, quarterly every month or something like that, once a month, twice a month. So make sure you follow. If you're in the Ottawa area, come from out of town even.
Yes.
You know, like, come book her. She could do a cute date night for you. No, she does it all. She's great. She's a superwoman. And yeah, it's been real.